Cool. We've got a great hand here. So we get to go implement into miner. Probably just attack. Yeah, miner is just incredible at enabling revolt, actually, because you can always just attack, get the energy, and exile it. So it's just free. It really is just free revolt. Every turn. Okay. Trusty Companion's good too, but we're going to play the miner here. So next turn we can implement plus Trusty Companion. They do get an opportunity to kill the miner here because I don't actually have any energy yet. Ooh, this is actually the first time I've seen Pia's Revolution played. Okay. We'll see what it does. I have decommission though, so I don't think I'm super worried about it. Maybe I'd just do the Renegade, actually, over the Companion, because I am going to get the Revolt trigger. Looks like getting Revolt's not going to be difficult, though. Whatever, let's just implement here. Get our card draw. There's a Druid of the Cowl. I can't quite play it, though. So we'll attack with the miner, get our energy, play the Renegade, get a couple bodies. And pass. So now we can blink our miner, which is pretty awesome. And I can conviction it maybe if I need to. Okay. Not very worried about that. To be honest, I'd rather decommission the assembler. Which I think I might do. Can actually conviction here too. So I can decommission the assembler, take 3 damage, swing with miner, swing for 6, and play Druid of the Cowl, or more likely play the Trusty Companion, honestly. I don't really need the ramp here, and Trusty Companion lets us beat in for more. It does mean I lose my removal spell. So another option is just conviction the miner, swing for 5, and then play Trusty Companion. That's actually fine too. Set up for a decommission next turn. I wouldn't be able to return conviction though. I'm not sure that matters because I can still save my miner, which might be the most important part. And this is out of range of like Chandra's Revolution. It can be malfunction, but then I can just get conviction back and bounce it. So I would say because it's going to be so resilient rather to removal, I can just conviction it here pretty safely. And then I just don't have to use decommission. I can make better use of my mana. I like that more. Let's put it on the miner. I'm not doing it on the Renegade because my opponent could still just block the miner. So now my opponent can't double block the miner, and they take 5 damage, which is a lot, obviously. So we'll get some more energy. Play the Trusty Companion and pass. Okay. Not super concerned about that. So I guess they can double block my miner, though. Should I be worried about that? I see. So if I'd had the druid, I would have been able... Well, actually, yeah, it's not a huge deal. So I can attack with the miner. What else can I do that's good here? I want to play the druid. I was thinking I could bounce the conviction and play it on the companion, so I can still attack with both miner and companion. That's pretty good, actually. Is that worth it here, is the question. It might actually be. Or maybe I'm just... Well, I don't want to 2-for-1 myself, because I would have to trade my... So it does actually make more... Well, I guess I don't have to do that either, do I? So I can... The reason I want to play the druid is so I can set up for the cavalry, because I also have the maneuver. I'm trying to think of the wisest course of action here. So I do have a revolt enabler as well. I kind of want to get in with the companion. I think I'm going to bounce conviction and play it on companion and swing with miner and companion. It just feels like a good opportunity here. It does set me a little bit behind on the cavalry, but they don't have a great block either. So I can attack with miner and companion now. And if they double block companion, they do sort of get a 2-for-1, but I keep my miner going, which I kind of like. I feel like getting in for 8 here is kind of big too. And I'm willing to trade my companion and conviction for an inventor, I think. Just so I can get in some more damage here. And this is actually fine too. I don't need the miner anymore. It is my free revolt enabler, I guess. So technically I lose the counter though, actually. So I think while I still can trade the miner for the inventor, I'm going to. Because I still have the beef in my hand, and I can still get revolt pretty easily, especially since my opponent's letting me keep conviction here. So we're going to just let our miner get traded off. I don't want to... Plus, like I said, at the very least, I'll be able to play cavalry at some point off a druid or a land, and then maneuver it and get the revolt trigger anyway. So I think we're fine. Okay, Wayward Giant. I guess that sort of puts a stop to our army, but we're still okay here. Ooh, well now we have Built to Last, which is pretty good. The problem with Built to Last here is that I can't attack with the companion alone, so let's just set up some more. Let's play the druid and pass. I should have actually tapped both my green mana in case I had to bounce conviction, but that's alright. Because I wanted to be able to do Built to Last plus bounce conviction, and I could have done that by leaving open 2 white. It does telegraph something, sort of, but I don't think that's a concern. Okay. So we can play the cavalry now, which I probably just want to do. And then I can maneuver it whenever I need to, I guess. I can also wait for a land. Which I'm not in love with. If I play the leopard here, I can attack with companion and leopard into giant. And Built to Last looks a lot better. My opponent only has one card in hand, which is something to note. If I play the Cavalry, I can't leave up anything. And it's still another turn before I can maneuver and attack with it. I can actually attack with the Leopard next turn. I think I'm going to do that instead. I'm going to play the Leopard. I'm going to leave up Built to Last and bounce Conviction. And this way, if I draw a land, I can actually bounce Conviction plus play Cavalry in the same turn, which I think is better than using the maneuver. Okay, Brawler. Attacking with the Windrake. Okay, so there's no cards left in our opponent's hand. Got a Pacification Array, which is pretty nice, actually. So I think we attack with... Well, the challenge... What's the challenge here? I attack with Leopard and Companion. And we just Built to Last and Decommission? Yeah, that's pretty strong, actually. Okay. So we're going to attack with these two. I don't think their blocks are that great anyway. Okay, this actually works really nice. So what we're going to do is... We're going to Built to Last our Companion. This lets us kill the Giant. And we're going to decommission the Assembler. And then we're going to trade our Leopard for the Brawler. Okay. Yeah, all of this seems fine to me. So we do this. Decommission this. We're going to take 3 damage from the Revolution. Trade that. And then we play the Pacification Array. So our opponent's left with no cards in hand. We're on a better board state. We have another bomb in hand. So we're looking good. And we have Pacification Array. Okay. Concession from our opponent here. So Pia's Revolution, kind of as expected, not a very good card. So playing against blue-red. Looks like an improvised deck, right? We see Brawler, we see Inventor, we see some artifacts. Swooper's good for that deck. So our opponent's got a theme going. I think they're just playing a weak card in Revolution. And it just turns out Windrake is not very good in this format. It's just clunky enough where having evasion doesn't really matter. So we're looking good. Yep, I don't see anything out of sideboard we want, so let's stick to the same plan here. Alright, gonna have to mulligan this one, no lands. If we had one, though, we would keep it in a heartbeat with that Renegade map. This one we can keep, though. Ooh, we get to keep that on top, too, so it finds our green mana and maybe sets up for this Renegade. It's actually kind of nice. So we play the map. Next turn, crack it, get the forest, play the Renegade. Okay. So now we can trade with the grub and still be left with a 1/1 to pair with our trusty companion. It's going to be a little difficult to deal with. Well, we're going to take it. We have Pacification Array. We have Caught in the Bright, so we have outs for this. And we can start chumping when it gets to that. It becomes necessary, I should say. So let's get him for 3 and then play the companion and leave up Built to Last. Actually, no, I guess we don't. Yeah. So actually, I guess we just leave up Built to Last and then we can actually kill Thriving Grub, huh? Okay. That makes more sense to me. Once again, I guess this is why Built to Last is a good card. Another reason why Built to Last is a good card. It gets you out of tricky situations like this. I mean, there's no guarantee he doesn't have another removal spell, but we don't have the luxury of playing around one. Definitely want him to pre-combat something here. Okay, did not. So we are going to go for it. All right, you just lived in Value Town here. Value Town, population, Alex Stephenson, so that was perfect. Aether Chaser kind of puts a stop to our attacks too, though. Okay, so we can play the Leopard now. Seems good. Stops their Chaser at least, too. So we have all of our 5-drops in hand? Do we have more than that? I guess we do have technically one more 5-drop. But we already played our map. We have 2 Druids and 13 lands. So that's not bad. We have more than a 50% chance of drawing a mana source here. Okay, Swooper. And a Drake. So it looks like they're more of a flying strategy than I think I initially realized. Caught in the Bright's nice. So, yeah, I mean, guess I can cast it on the Drake, but, well, no, I guess it makes more sense to cast it on the Chaser here, doesn't it? And then we can get in with Leopard, Companion, but not the Renegade. All right, so we're going to Caught in the Bright's the first striker, and then we're going to get in with our 2 guys for 7 here. I think it's worth it. I'm basically only doing this because they have, and this is actually a nice trade for us too. I certainly don't mind making that trade. They only have 1 card in hand. We have 3, although we're going to need some more resources at some point. Uh-oh. Something big. We can still 2-for-1 ourselves to kill that, which I guess is okay. No cards left in our opponent's hand. So they get a servo. We'd like a land or a Druid of the Cowl. Either one would work. Another leopard's fine too, actually. This lets us double block the sailback and only lose one thing, which is actually really nice. And we can afford to get pecked by a swooper for a couple turns. So there's our 4th land. Once we get the 5th land, I probably attack with a lot of things to set up for cavalry. Okay. Okay. So, actually, if we get the 5th land, we have some good options. Didn't get the 5th land. So, it's slightly worse. But that's alright. We'll play the Druid here. We'll pass. They have to attack with the frontline Rebel, so I guess we can block with a... Well, alright. It's not exactly what I wanted, but that's alright. Okay. Inventor. So we can block with a renegade and a leopard, and I guess we lose a leopard. Otherwise I can block with a servo and a renegade too, if I want to keep these. I think we just want to lose one thing, though. And I don't want to lose my druid in case I don't draw land. Our opponent forget to change the blocking order? I think they did, yeah. So they screwed up too and let us keep our better creature. So next turn we can do a couple things. We can attack with Leopard. If they take 4, that's fine. We'll play the Mastodon. If they trade, we get to play the Cavalry. So we have good options at our disposal here to get the land. So why don't we just attack with Leopard here and see what happens. They might just take it. And like I said, if we get a Mastodon, I'm happy too. Alright, so they're going to take it, so we'll just play a Mastodon here. I guess we could have also attacked with the servo, just as like a way to guarantee the cavalry comes online, but I wanted to see if they made the trade. No play, which is nice. So you can give vigilance here and attack. And actually, if our Mastodon dies, we can play Call for Unity, which is pretty good too. It just buffs 4 of our guys with +1/+1 counters. So we end up with a 3/4, 3/4. We don't have as good of an attack as I'd like into that Inventor, though. But may still be worth it. Would I rather get a 6/6 or buff 4 dudes? I think I'd rather buff 4 dudes. Okay, so we can start pitching artifacts to deal some more damage to us, which is a bit scary. But we can also start swinging now too. So I can swing with my 2 leopards at the very least. And I can basically lose a leopard to get a cavalry plus another charge for Call for Unity. That seems worth it. Okay. Maybe I swing with... Well, I don't want to swing with servo too. Let's swing with 2 leopards. I think they kind of have to block this. They don't have to, but I feel like they will. Maybe they won't. I wouldn't mind if they took 6 either. Alright, this is fine. So we lose a guy, but our whole team gets buffed and we get a huge dude, so this is totally worth it. So now we have a pretty massive army here. Miner is actually a pretty good draw too. So we can swing with our 2 dudes. Alright, they just concede. We have 12 trample coming. They have 9 blocking. I don't know. They could have stayed alive. They just didn't want to play it out. So, alright. I thought we should be able to beat a 1-power flyer that's not generating servos every turn. So, happy to get the victory there. Hope you enjoyed Call for Unity. We'll see you round 2.